Success is hard. But I got news for you. Having lived in a car for 3 years, being not successful is hard too. Now, here's the difference between the two hards. Being not successful and hard, and trying to become successful and hard. When you are not successful and hard, there are no options. You can't decide where you're going to dinner. You can't decide if you're going to buy a pair of shoes. You can't decide if you're going on vacation. You can't decide what you're going to eat. You don't have options. On the road to success, it's hard, but it creates options for you. It does. Look, see, people get hung up on the fact that I'm not a millionaire yet. But hold up, man. There's joy in the journey. See, on your way to becoming a millionaire, how about if you celebrate making $50,000 a year? Don't you remember when you didn't have that? Then when you get $100,000, there's another celebration. Because guess what? It's 2 times more than 50. You make $150,000, there's another celebration. See, there's joy in the journey. But people get bogged down with, I ain't a millionaire yet, and they remain unhappy. And now you block all the rest of the blessings God got for you. Because God, the more you're grateful, the more he gives you to be grateful for. So now, God gives you 150, you got your lips stuck out. Why would he give you some more stuff not to be grateful for? A couple of things kept me going. Most of it was messages that I had learned from my mother. But I learned something about faith. Faith comes from hearing, not from having heard. My mother was telling me those messages years ago. But during my homeless years, I would rehear them, and that's when it mattered. And I had such a grand dream and vision. I was willing to push through to see what the vision was going to be, to see if I could get to the dream. And I kept hearing my mother say words like, God didn't bring you this far to leave you. So I said, okay, well, maybe he ain't left me. Let me just see if I can wake up tomorrow, something change. You know, then I kept hearing stuff like faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. Or say, okay, cool. So I don't see nothing but this homelessness right now, but I think I'm gonna make it one day. And I just kept going, man. I just kept. Now, don't get me wrong. There was days I wanted to quit. A lot of days. I almost drove back to Cleveland several times and just gave up. But you know, man, your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears. If you see, that's why you have to have big dreams. Because your dreams have to be bigger than all your fears and all your consequences. What makes people go back is you dream too small. See, your problem in life ain't if you aim too high and you miss it. Your problem in life is if you aim too low and you hit it. You messed up now. So when you aim to the moon and you miss, you still amongst the stars. So it kind of keeps you motivated a lot longer, man, to help you push through. Because everybody's gonna have to have a push through moment. Because everybody has a turn back moment. The key to making it is you can never turn back. See, God is always coming. See, look, man, when you ask God for something, God boxes it up, put your name on it, and he ships it the day you ask for it. Soon as you ask for it, he ships it. The problem with the package is, he never tells you the date that it's going to arrive. If he did that, it would destroy the one element that he requires, your faith. So God sends your package, but he only delivers to Faith Street. If you step off of Faith Street and you go over here to I Don't Believe It Boulevard, he don't ship there. If you step over here to I Don't See How Avenue, he don't ship there. If you step over here to ain't no way circle, he don't ship that. The package only goes to Faith Street. What happens to the average person is that when the package arrives and you ain't on Faith Street, it's just like the post office and FedEx, UPS. If you ain't there, the package got to go back. You know how many packages you got in heaven with your name on it that got sent back? This is real talk, man. This is how it works. Being successful, y'all, is not a magic trick. You have to learn the principles of success. And you can be successful at anything. You really can, man. I don't have no education. I'm not really like school smart, none of that. And I got a lot of people work for me, got degrees. See, when I don't know something, I pay somebody to know it, just come stand around here. I come down here and do the gift. I keep telling the jokes. I'm telling you, God has an incredible life for you. All you got to do is ask him for it. Be willing to put in the work. But now this work part is hard. Success is hard. But let me ask you a question. Ain't not being successful hard too? So now which hard you want? You want the hard with some options and some benefits, or you want the hard when ain't nothing going on? I'm gonna take the hard with the option and benefits. Give me that hard. Let me try that. How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. We don't know. Bobby took all the greatness and all of the talent and all of his abilities to his grave with him. One other thing he could have put in parentheses under his name, he didn't use all his stuff. And most of us do that. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. And we want to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to start living life with a sense of urgency and using what we've got. Using ourselves up. Sharing what we brought into the universe to share. Because if we don't, nobody else will. Stop wasting valuable time. Knowing that if we begin to live our lives as if each day were our last, our lives will take on a whole new meaning. And take on a whole new expression. Valuing each moment that we are blessed with. The next thing that begins to nurture that hunger, honor yourself as your word. Don't give your word out lightly. When you throw your word out there and you don't honor it, it makes a statement about you. If you decide to maintain a sense of integrity with yourself, that if I speak it, I'm going to live it. It's who I am. And I'm going to be very cautious in how I give my word to others, and most of all with the commitments that I make to myself. Because I want my life to reflect my words and honoring who I am and what I express. Another challenging area in terms of nurturing and developing that hunger in yourself is learning the art of becoming single-minded. Learning how to concentrate. Learning how to focus in. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do. When you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single, you'll be surprised of the ideas that will come to you, of the people that you'll be able to attract, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You begin to see things that have been standing there looking you in the face saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time. I'm nothing no more than you. You know, my job has been exceptional, though. I've been very blessed in that I've lived a life. God has enabled me to pursue my passion and tied it to my gift. I'm gifted at comedy, and I've been able to pursue it. So I wake up every day, and for a living, I play music and tell jokes. How big of a blessing is that? But you know, people, they look at that, But see, you lose sight of the fact that I'm 54 though. And you don't know the fact that I've been doing this 27 years in order to get to the point where I can wake up and play music and tell jokes for a living. It's like my guest Tim Gannon, who explained the fact that he wanted to play polo. He didn't buy a pony till he was 40. He saw the first race at 16, the first match at 16. He didn't get that till he was 40. But so people look at him as the owner of the Outback Steakhouse and they go, wow, but they have no idea the journey and the stress. And what I want to talk to you about is stress. What stress is, what it really is. How it's necessary if you're planning on getting to where you're trying to go to. See, stress is God's way of training you. It's preparation. But what most people do is, see, once you get stressed, you don't want that no more. So now you give up. You through. I'm stressed, so yeah, I don't want it. Nobody likes stress. You know, I work with a trainer. I have to work out. You know, 54, I'm supposed to, really, I ain't nothing fly, nothing like that. Really, I am, but, you know, I'm not, you know, you've been to your reunion. And you didn't know who was talking to you because you was going, whoa. And then you're going to look in the mirror and go, okay, I need to check myself. Do I look that bad? Because some people just let themselves go. But you got to, in order to develop and to change and to grow, stress is necessary. So you got to be willing to go get it every day. There's a story my father told me all the time. Now, I've heard it several different ways, but I'm just telling you the way my daddy gave it to me. He said, son, he said, every morning on the plains of the eastern Serengeti Desert, there arises a gazelle that realizes that he must run faster than the fastest lion, or he will be eaten and he will die that day. On that same desert arises in the morning a lion that realizes that he must run faster than the fastest gazelle, or he will starve and he will die that day. He said, son, the moral of the story is, no matter who you is, when you wake up in the morning, you needs to be running. No matter, and he says, no matter who you is, this proper grammar is who you are, but my daddy didn't do that, and I was comfortable with it. And so what he taught me was a work ethic of how to work. In order to get to where you want to go, you got to put yourself under some stress, though. See, stress is necessary. God is a trainer. This is what I done learned about it. And all I can tell you is, you know, how I got to be who I am. That's all I can share with you. I got no other stories for you. He got me to this point because from so far from what I done gathered in the process I'm in, he wants me to share my story with those that's still trying to get there. And at 40, you can still buy the pony. And by age 50, you can still have 5 world championships. But you got to be willing to get under some stress. See, stress is necessary. It's like, I can't believe what Bishop was talking about, because I had prepared this whole thing. And it's just amazing how he is, man. God be doing. See, that's what I've learned. God cold. He tricky with it. He got moves you won't even. 3 of the things I was going to talk about, he talked about. Now I got scared to talk. Because, you know, I mean, I'm up here, you know, following the greatest preacher of all times with similar subject matter. But I have a different take on it because I had a different walk. So you see, the party was talking about that seed. See, I'm a seed. I really am. But a seed has to be planted. A seed got to have dirt put on top of it. If you take a seed and throw it on the concrete and walk off, the sun just burn it up. But guess what? Logically, in my mind, it doesn't make sense that to grow something, you should dig a hole, put it down in there, and cover it with dirt. Logically, that don't make no sense to me. But oh, though. See, dirt is necessary for growth and development. Dirt builds character. Dirt gives you the push-through factor. Dirt makes you come with it when you don't feel like coming with it no more. And you get dirt in a lot of different ways. All of y'all that had dirt thrown on you. And dirt ain't always what you want. It's somebody talking about you down on your job. It's somebody accusing you of something that you didn't do. It's somebody telling you you ain't gonna make it. It's somebody sharing information about you that ain't true. That everybody get dirt put on them. But see, when you getting put under that stress, please know God is always working. Kirk Franklin's song, God is always working, so I smile. Because I know he back there. See, that dirt builds character in you. When they talking about you, it teaches you to withstand it. Then it gives you something to push through. So when you put the seed and you put the dirt on it, if you understand stress, stress really ain't just dirt. Stress, see, they don't call it dirt when they plant it. They call it soil. Because, see, soil has nutrients in it. What the nutrients, when people talking about you, dogging you, lying on you, backbiting, stealing from you, talking about you, they're actually putting nutrients in you. They're building character. You got character now. Now, the seed, if they put a camera under the ground, you'd have seen the seed sprout open and start coming through the dirt. Because the dirt is necessary so you can prove yourself. You know, if you don't really want to, everything you see above ground that blossoms and plants and grows and that's beautiful, it was underground one time. All them potatoes, collard greens, they was underground one time. Them apple trees, they was underground one time. So they had to prove themselves. See, you want to be successful, well then you got to prove yourself. You got to push through the dirt. You got to come up through here. You got to come out, then you sprout, and then Bishop say, then you become a tree. Next thing you know, you got fruit. So when you under stress, take the stress for what it is. Don't get fooled. Don't just think, oh, man, Lord must not mean for it to be. What you tripping for? What you talking about? How you think you're going to be a plant, a tree, a flower, a bush, and ain't no stress? How you gonna get to be that without no dirt? Didn't they do Jesus? How you figure you supposed to get up out of here? He was pretty perfect. We ain't even perfect. See, I expect dirt now. I expect people to talk about me. Matter of fact, I look forward to it now. Do your thing, because if I can weather what happened to me and my family earlier, you can bring whatever you got now. There's some more stuff going around now that's about to happen. Bring it. Because now I have developed a character. That is stress. Here's a habit that I do. Maybe it might be of some value to you. I get up in the morning and I start writing what great ideas that I can think of today that can improve me and that will enable me to reach my goal. And I just let my mind flow. Sometimes I write 15, 20 ideas. Some days it's more difficult than others. One idea can change your life. One idea can turn your life around. Deciding that you're going to focus to develop your skills. The guy was the new owner of a baseball team that was in the basement of the league when he took it over. He went to the pitcher and he said, what is your best throw? And he said, well, I got a good curveball and I've got a good fastball. And he went on talking about his different throws. He said, but tell me this, what is your best throw? He thought for a moment. He said, I've got a good fastball. He said, that's all I want you to work on. Nothing else. Just develop your fastball. The next year, they went to the World Series. Most people don't know where their fastball is. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts.
Your future is going to be what you make of it. Because you're not going to be able to rely on people to do things for you. That's not the way life is. If you want to be great at something, you're going to have to put all your commitment and effort and discipline into doing just that. Things aren't handed to you as you get older. In fact, the things that I learned over the course of my life was the things that I actually worked for the most, that's what I valued the most. Where I put all my hard work and effort and dedication and discipline into, those were the things that really paid off. And when I faced really challenging times and really challenging obstacles, that's when I had to figure out deep down about myself what I was all about. And I realized that I can be more and make more of my own career than what a lot of people thought. And I'm still trying to do that today. I want you guys to achieve all that you set out to. It's going to take a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. There's going to be a lot of challenges. But you guys are going to be the ones responsible for what you achieve.
If you're going through some things where you feel broken dreams or a broken heart, don't get bitter. Don't give up on your dreams. Stay in faith. It's a sign that God is about to multiply. The loss, the disappointment, the person that didn't keep their word, they thought that they were setting you back, but little do they know that you're going to stay in faith. You're not going to give up. And what they thought was a setback was actually setting you up to increase.
I know the conditions are not everything that you want them to be. I know all the circumstances are not the way you would like for them to be. I know that there are impending dangers that threaten your progress. I know that you don't have the insurance of an outcome. And when you don't have insurance, it is difficult to have assurance. All you have is God's command in your life that God said, keep it moving.
We all face things in life that try to push us down. It's easy to lose our passion and think that's the way it's always going to be. When you get knocked down, you don't stay down. There's a force breathing in your direction, making things happen that you couldn't make happen, giving you strength that you didn't have. It causes you to rise up. And because you have bounced back, that difficulty cannot defeat you. It may hold you back temporarily, but it's just a matter of time before you rise back up.
You have bounce back power. Bounce back from that financial setback. Bounce back from that divorce. Bounce back from that lie, the gossip, the haters. Bounce back. I want to encourage you tonight. There are things that only come out of you when you go through a struggle. So let's just rejoice that people hate. Let's rejoice that the enemy tried his best. In other words, when you go through something hard, God's going to make sure that that works something good out in your life. It pulls something out of you. It shapes you into something special. It prepares you for something that's ahead of you.
I made it all the way. I started preaching when I was 19, and they said I wouldn't last 2 weeks. And I made it all the way to 62. I'm chasing you. I ain't got there yet, but I'm on your heels, buddy. I'm coming after you. Because you can't go ahead if you don't keep it moving. So I kept it moving when I was broke. And I kept it moving when I had some money. And I kept it moving when things were going right. And I kept it moving when things were going bad. And I kept it moving when I had the faith. And I kept it moving when I was scared out of my mind. To all of it, I know you're scared, but keep it moving. Keep it moving. What I got planned will only work if you.
Until you follow your dream and connect it to your gift, you'll never be happy. You got to chase that dream before you die, man. Just go see. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, He tucks it away in your imagination. Listen to me. This is serious what I'm telling you. Don't you think it's nothing else. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions.
Developing an awareness of yourself beyond your mental conditioning, beyond your circumstances, adverse circumstances, beyond where you are right now, expanding your vision of yourself, going within. At this part of the year, you know what I say? Look behind and thank God. What do you mean? Thank that I'm still here, that I woke up with a pulse this morning. There's so many opportunities, so many blessings, so many things that I could do and participate in and expand my level of awareness.
You may have things coming against you now. Thoughts tell you you'll never get well. This pandemic has ruined your finances. You'll always struggle with this addiction. Don't believe those lies. You may be down, but that is not your final destination. Get ready for favor. Get ready for breakthroughs. Get ready for healing. If you're going to come out of that challenge, you have to do like Micah. This problem didn't come to stay, it came to pass. God being for me is more than the world being against me. I shall arise. No more, it's never going to change. My business will never make it. My child's never going to get back on course. Zip that up. If you talk defeat, you're going to have defeat. That person that walked out on you, they didn't stop your destiny. Quit giving them that much power, thinking that they ruined your life. God has somebody better coming.
I know that there are many of us that are facing struggles. We're in a hard season right now. And when we face hardships and when we face struggles and setbacks or closed doors, it's easy to give up. It's easy to want to cash in the dream and walk away from it. But I'm here to encourage you tonight that it isn't the end. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's the end of something. Think of a seed. For it to become everything it's designed to be. For what's on the inside of that to fully come out and blossom, it must come off the comfortable shelf and it must be placed into a dark place, a hard place for it to germinate and for it to become everything it's created to be. See, just like a seed, there are things in your life, there's dreams and there is potential on the inside of you that God has put in you that can only fully come out. Your potential can only be fully realized through a hard season. By going through some struggle, by experiencing a closed door, by going through a season where you don't feel God, or going through some heartbreak, going through some trials. These seasons actually pull out the best in us.
We need to sometimes to be reminded of what we don't know right now, because sometimes life can knock you senseless. That's why we're taught, judge not according to appearances. It might look like it's over. No, it's not. No, you were born to win. You were born to win. You are winning. You got here winning. I want you to tap into your courage, because in the newness of life, and your life would be a new life, if you're not happy, if you're not new, if you haven't changed, if you have not made a commitment to embrace a higher standard on how you show up and your choices that you make and the life that you're living and the relationships that you're surrounded by, this is a time you have to be vigilant, but this is the time you have to rethink. Hey, this is radically different. And so I've got to be radically different to accommodate, to take into account of what's happening and what's going on. Millions of jobs being lost. So that means there's a small number of jobs out there because the economy has changed and businesses are going under. That's why I'm sending out this choosing your future. You want to choose your future. You want to listen to things that feed you, feed your faith and allow your doubts to starve to death. Feed your creativity, free and feed your initiative and build your courage so you can make some tough decisions, because right now you've got to make some tough decisions.
A person who has purpose in their life, they have something to go for, some meaning For some people, it becomes a magnificent obsession. And for you and I, maybe it doesn't need to be that dramatic as a magnificent obsession. But it has to be something that does something to us, something that pulls us, especially into the future. You know, there are many influences on us. One is the influence of the past. Some people are always pulled back by the past. Some people are always pulled aside by the distractions. But here's what's powerful. If you have a list of high purpose in your life, it pulls you toward the future. And the more powerful the purpose is, the stronger it pulls. If you don't have these strong purposes for the future, it's easy to get swallowed by a bad day. It's easy to be almost annihilated by a poor month. And it's easy sometimes to almost disappear beneath the waves of a year that goes backwards if you don't have something to pull you beyond that year. So if you want something to pull you through all kinds of challenges, all kinds of difficulties, and things that come at you, you got to have something on out there, beyond today, beyond next week, beyond next month, beyond this year. And the clearer it is, the stronger it pulls. It also creates imagination. It gets your mind working on how to achieve that purpose. And if your mind will work, and if your heart works, and if your spirit works, and if you have good input, like good ideas, I'm telling you, there isn't anything you can't accomplish.
So everything that you do is habit forming. And that includes hitting the snooze button. That includes sitting on the couch. That includes eating donuts. It's all habit forming. You know what else is habit forming? Discipline. Setting the alarm and getting up. Going and working out. That stuff is all habit forming too. I recommend you form some disciplined habits. How much longer are you gonna wait? How much longer? You're gonna wait another 30 seconds? You're gonna wait another minute? You're gonna wait another hour? Maybe we'll start in a couple hours. You know what? How about I just wait till tomorrow? You're gonna wait till tomorrow? You're gonna wait another week? You're gonna wait another month? How much longer are you gonna wait? I say no more waiting.
Nothing you face can keep you from your purpose. No pandemic, no sickness, no addiction. The enemy may have done his best, but his best will never be enough.
You got to put your foot down. This is the place where we are. You got to put your foot down to yourself and say to yourself, I'm better than this. I'm better than the behavior that I've been choosing and how I've been representing myself. I'm better than this relationship that I'm in where I'm dying together rather than living together. I'm better than the circumstances where I am. I've lost my job. I've lost my business, and I'm better than the adversities that are looking me in the face that are about to get smacked down. It's not going to stop me. Are you kidding me? No, I'm better than this. Whatever life throws at me, you call it Murphy's Law or whatever you want to call it. Get that foolishness out of my face. I'm better than what's going on here.
You may be bent over right now. You're facing challenges. Thoughts are telling you it's never going to work out. No, get ready to rise. You have bounce back in your spirit. When that storm is over, you're not going to be laying down, beat up. You're going to rise up healthy, blessed, prosperous. You're not going to look like what you've been through. Nobody is going to be able to tell that you even had that difficulty. When you come out of that storm, when you straighten back up, you're not going to be the same. You're going to be stronger, healthier, better off, ready for new growth. When you're in difficult times, you need to remind yourself, I may bend, but I'm not going to break. Defeat is not how your story ends. Sickness, trouble, not having enough is not permanent.
Where does self-confidence come from? Self-confidence really comes from feeling good about yourself. And this is the best advice I can give you on that. Not neglecting, first of all, the small daily discipline. And one of the best ways to feel good about yourself is at the end of the day to know that you poured it on. You did your best. At the end of those kind of days, when you feel good about yourself, self-confidence starts to rise. You know that if you can have this kind of a good day, you can have another one the next day, and those days become the weeks become the months, and the month becomes a powerful year. Self-confidence comes from the lack of neglect. If you will not neglect to do the small, daily disciplines, that's where self-confidence comes from. That self-confidence affects your health, it affects your future, it affects your psyche. So this is true. One of the great powers is self-confidence. Why not see how far up this economic ladder you can possibly go to see if you can't live an extraordinary life? Not just an ordinary life, that's okay. Survival, that's okay. But if you could think larger than that, so that you really go to work on seeing who you could become in terms of influence, in terms of productivity, in terms of living the little phrase I give you called an extraordinary life. Ordinary would be okay. Extraordinary would be the best.
You may feel like you're in a pit. That's okay. The pit is leading you to the palace. You had a setback. That's okay. It's setting you up for greater influence, greater authority, greater honor. Don't sit around sour. Get ready for the greater things that God is about to do. Keep believing. Keep dreaming. Your time is coming. The pit is only temporary. The depression, the sickness, the lack is not how your story ends. You are closer than you think. It's going to happen sooner than it looks. God is going to surprise you.
Some people say, well, I'll do it for a little while and see what happens. You know, I'll try a couple of things. If that doesn't work, I'm out of here. And all of us know that that kind of person doesn't have much of a future. But if you're willing to do whatever it takes, if I have to learn a couple of things, I will learn those things. If I got to learn 5 or 6 things, I'll learn all 6. If I have to take an extra class, I'll take an extra class. If I've got to read the books, I'll read the books. If I have to consult with people who know more than I know, I will do the necessary consulting. Whatever it takes, I will do. That starts to develop unbelievable self-confidence. To rise above what happens, the petty little things, the discouraging things that would sink everyone else's ship except yours, that would cause someone else to quit early in the day, but you keep going. That kind of willingness to overcome all circumstances, whether it's the little challenges or the big challenges. If you're willing to do that, I promise you, this kind of power will work for you, and in you, the variable, it'll make a difference.
I'm going to teach you a lesson about confidence. When you have confidence, when you say your name, you look someone in their face. It doesn't matter what they think of me, I know what I think of myself. I am, repeat after me, I am great. I am amazing. I am significant. I am smart. I am special. I could stand up with all the confidence in the world. No one can stop me but me. And me standing in my way is not an option. No one in the world can stop my greatness. No one in the world can shake my confidence. It doesn't matter what you say about me. It's about the way I feel about myself.
Who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. You got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. You got to get fired up.
You got to get up, look at the man in the mirror and go. Disturbed because no one else can see it. That's not unusual. You've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside.
You need to change on how you look at those people that might have hijacked your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Everybody has a defining moment. Whatever your defining moment is, own it and say to yourself, after today, I will do whatever it takes to become everything I can become.
Raise the bar on yourself. Challenge yourself. Expect things to be great for you because you're going to show up differently. Fight like a warrior and die a legend.
I don't care who you are. Life's gonna punch you in the face.
In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to.
You can suffer, or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now.